All right, let's get you up to speed. I'm an idiot. I convinced Brett
I'm Brett Sheridan.
to go to South Dakota with me to build a car for a desert festival called Wasteland Weekend. And eventually, we're gonna play the game Thunder Road at that festival. That is, if we can get the car built in time. At this point, we have less than 2 weeks to build the car and get it from South Dakota to California in order to be at the festival. Less than 2 weeks. That is why I'm an idiot.
It's a Middle Aged Wasteland. We're all wasted.
Day 4.
Day 4.
Day 4.
I'm not getting to sleep actually until after 1 in the morning, and then here it is 6:30 in the morning. And I don't know, I'm not really good at math, but if you do the math, you get 1 plus minus 6 carry the 1. That's not enough sleep.
I just think people don't talk about it enough. Coffee helps. It helps. It helps give you spiritual awakening and motivation to get the job done. Let's go!
The big agenda item for this day was to go and get the motor. But before we could do that, Brett and I had made a huge discovery.
So one thing we've observed during our time here is that everybody has pliers in a holster.
Yeah.
And that's something we don't have. So we're gonna go buy a set of pliers.
But I mean, more importantly, a pliers holster.
Yeah, you need the holster. Like,
Yeah,
putting pliers in your pocket, that's not a good idea.
No. What are you? Come on, city boy.
you
Putting pliers in your pocket lets them sort of.
You gotta be able to get
crazy
them out
person.
quick.
Yeah, you can.
You never know when you need pliers real quick.
That's
So it's
that's
like,
a note
shoop.
for everyone out there.
Yeah, pliers, holster, not just pliers. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go get
'em.
pliers.
I'm not sure why it took us 4 days to figure this out. Pliers are magic. I will never again go without having pliers on me.
Do I still have my pliers? Yes. Is my daughter embarrassed by it? Yes, but I don't care. Boom. Oh. What are we doing now?
All right, so we have found a motor that Dad thinks that he can get it in running condition.
So now it's time to take a drive and check out motor number 3.
Or engine. Whatever you prefer. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
So we drive out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we're at the farm. Oh boy, this is gonna be an adventure. Let's get ourselves a motor.
Look, this motor was a beast. Heavy, awkward. It was almost too big for the equipment we brought. We barely got that thing in the truck.
What do you think this motor was being used for?
Probably irrigation system.
I think it was used for engineifying things.
So along with the pliers, Brett and I had discovered another local dynamic.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dad's caught in conversation, so it might be a while. So this is what we discovered, is that everything you buy involves conversation. Like, it's not just the money you spend, it's the time you have to put into conversing with the people you're buying from.
30 for 30, right?
So $30 per 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's $1 a minute of conversation. So every dollar you spend, you have to spend a minute in conversation.
People love to talk, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Hey, Ernie. Aaron. My hometown, where a 10-second transaction takes 20 minutes, because everybody wants to talk.
We should have come up with a name for it. Chatter barter? Barter chatter. Barter chatter. I like barter chatter.
A successful shopping trip.
I'd say so.
I mean, we got the motor, we just don't know if the motor runs.
I figure between the three of them,
We'll get one motor that works?
yeah. Why you always making your dad do all the work?
This has always been my job. He
Operate-
operates the tractor, I operate the chain. Of course, my job's the most important.
Yep.
Chain guy's the most important.
It's time to see if we can fire this thing up.
Well, now you see what Leif and I are doing right here, pretending like we know what we're looking for.
Who's pretending?
Hook up a few key elements, battery, gas, all the fluids.
Great job, Leif.
I held the funnel.
Check the plugs
Did the box is new spark plugs, but none of those look new.
and flip the switch.
Oh, come on.
It turned over. which is huge. That means the motor is not stuck. So now we just have to get it firing.
Oh, come on.
A little starting fluid. Nothing. This is not good. Even the magic of pliers wasn't helping.
Tap it with the pliers.
Start.
And then we had a running motor. Well, not exactly. See, one of the cylinders wasn't firing. And for a 4-cylinder motor, that means we only had 75% of a motor. That's math.
Is that what they meant, Leif, when they said I wasn't firing on all cylinders?
Sure enough, the 4th valve was stuck.
Oh, I gotta pull ahead in order to figure out why this valve is stuck.
We had plenty of valves. So I went and resurfaced the valve and resurfaced the seat and the block and
Blood.
put the valve in, and then we put the head back on.
But that would have to wait until the next day.
Okay, it's end of day 4.
Wow.
Progress report.
Oh, we got an engine for it.
Yeah, there's a
I mean,
motor.
it puttered for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's gonna run.
It's gonna run.
So tomorrow we fire it back up.
Day 5.
I don't know.
Day 5.
See, you gotta focus on getting that motor running and then finally getting the brakes done. If those 2 things happen today, then I feel like we'll be in a good spot.
Couldn't help but notice Brett was moving a little slower and maybe losing it a bit.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Oh, Leif, I'm crushing your head.
Then he proposed a game, which I was all for because we haven't been dealing with games very much in these videos.
If you catch the other one without their pliers in their holster, then we get a wrist slap, yeah, with the pliers. Oh, man.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
And it ran pretty good.
Now, with the motor working, we had to prep it to be installed,
Engine motors.
which means taking off all the unnecessary pieces. Just like the truck, there was so much stuff attached to this thing. God, it's just like everything has to be complicated. I mean, the pile of crap that we removed was pretty sizable, but the motor was free, finally.
We got a motor. We've got a motor.
And then in the process of upgrading some of the parts and taking the old parts off, some bolts break.
Are you kidding me?
Look, rust. You know, Mother Nature wins again. Or a better way to put it is I keep losing.
Ow! Oh, Dan! The chain hit me in the head again.
Other than the pliers game, I'm doing real good there.
Pretty woman, get me a climb.
Here it is. Here it comes.
Oh, he set it down.
But that's this project. Like every time something goes well, something else goes bad. Again and again. And at some point, you just have to lean into the idea that it's going to go bad. That's the process. But I don't like the process.
I was thinking about this actually. I want to adjust your math on that. You were saying you pay $1 per minute of talking. And what I think is the better model is you save $1 for every minute you talk.
Oh.
Right? So if something was cost $40 and you talk to them for 20 minutes, you could probably get away with
Probably
spending
get
20 bucks on it. But everything still requires a conversation.
Wiring is a huge challenge. It will mess up your brain.
I do love that in the instructions, one of the first things it says is, don't let the size of this job scare you.
So I passed that job off to Brett.
Now, why would Leif want me to wire a vehicle? Now we're talking. Well, it's a very meticulous overthinking process, and that's my specialty. except for I do overthink things to the point of a standstill. And there were points where I had those wires that were all labeled, but apparently labels for things that I didn't know, and I would make up what this one meant, and I'm like, is that alternator? No, that's alternative music. I don't know. Does it say what all the wires we have or no? This is a lot harder than pulling an engine apart.
I just pulled off the starter.
Yeah, so did I. Overthinker. I'm moving real slow today. I was looking at like a zip tie on that cord and just like examining it.
Yeah, what is this?
Thinking, should I take my pliers and kind of twist it off?
10 minutes. That was a 10-minute job.
10-minute job. Went and looked for these little
Just trying
snips.
to figure out what
But then I'm like, are those too small? Should I go get a
Yeah, just trying to figure out what a zip tie is.
Through
Oh,
that.
you know what I almost asked you to do, Brett?
What?
Go get me a pliers. Looking for these.
Ow!
I won this one. I totally won this one.
And yes, in the process of removing things, sometimes you remove too much things. Yeah, I said too much things.
Cutting off that piece of extra iron, and now every sound that could possibly in this room is going off right. Ratchet, grinder, and the air compressor. Every possible sound. If a jet could fly over right now, that would be great. I'm gonna keep talking. I made a mistake. Cutting off that piece of metal, I about cut through one of the carriers for the spring.
Which meant I had to weld a new piece in its place. And at first, I again thought this was a win.
It's almost a professional weld. That looks gorgeous.
But then, once I came to my senses,
That is disgusting looking. Everyone is gonna see that terrible weld. Say, this is Leif's weld job. It's so good. Right, Brett?
That's what they'll say.
teamwork makes the dream work. I hate that saying.
Sometimes doesn't make the dream work.
But I would not have gotten through this without Brett.
So we have 7 days, maybe 8 days. It's a lot, but I think we can get it done.
Yeah.
Is it day 6 today?
Day 6.
Excuse me, I need to get to my shoes.
Much obliged if you move for the shoes, please.
Now, with the concept that we had a working motor, we could get back to the brakes, which was the other primary goal.
Because the car needs brakes. Brake pedal to go into the brake drum needs a rod, some threading, an old rod to hopefully fit the new drum and attach it to the old original brake pedal. We might have brakes.
We did not have brakes. But more on that later. Tragedy was afoot.
There's a frog! What are you doing, buddy?
You checking out the project?
Come on, frog, get out of here. Now we gotta figure out how to guide him out of here. You don't want to be in here. Yeah, get out. Go that way.
If this truck never comes together, there is that.
But I'm pretty much a hero who saved its life.
I saved a life.
Okay, so now I'm moving on to putting a gas tank in the thing, because unfortunately you need fuel to drive vehicles.
There's a lot of gas in that room.
Gas tank in.
Starter switch, got it all wired up.
Nope, nothing.
I think the battery's dead.
Huh, battery seems fine. Oh, I think I know the problem.
Whoa, what happened?
Battery's not hooked up to the engine.
That'll do it.
We might be finally to a point of lifting this into the block. Lifting this block into the under the hood. I don't know, wherever, whatever.
Tired. Damn tired.
So, my friend Jimmy stops by, hanging out, and he just decided to help us drop the motor in. And Jimmy went all in, got dirty like the rest of us. Crawled right under that vehicle. No creeper, nothing. But of course, as is standard for everything that we're trying to do, the engine doesn't fit. So what to do? Obviously, you stare at it for 5 minutes, hoping it fixes itself. And then when that doesn't work, you get back to it. But the brake drum was in the way, so that had to go. See, I told you, we did not have brakes. The engine mounts had to be adjusted. The transmission had to be moved, and the firewall had to be cut back. Nothing fits like it's supposed to. Not one thing in this whole build has slid into place. Not one.
We have to suffice and make things work. So most of this Jeep was made to work.
6 inches forward, 12 inches back. Back at it tomorrow. What time is it?
11?
11:30.
Oh, good.
So,
It's time to be coming home.
Day 7.
Okay, I don't know what day it is anymore. I mean, I know what day it is. It's Saturday.
Day 7.
Oh, I'm exhausted. Look at that sexy welding tan. Sexy hair. Sexy.
the trip walking to the truck is tiresome.
Well, you were asking me about these boots, and I got a big old blister on one of my feet.
So we've been here a week and we don't even have a working vehicle.
No, and that's kind of,
This is what we should have started with, a working vehicle.
I don't know if this is going to make the video. This is kind of a gripe of mine. I thought we had a working van.
I mean, the motor was in, which is a great thing. It took a lot of work and a whole week, but we had a motor.
So it is now in a new location in the Jeep.
Now it was time to give that motor everything it needs. Like a baby, we needed to feed it and poop it. I mean, give it access to fuel. Yeah, so I am putting in a fuel line. My dad operating an open flame torch right behind me. It needed water.
Little radiator action.
Put the radiator in.
But the radiator fan housing didn't fit, because nothing fits, ever.
It's that way with hot rodding. You change one thing and there's 5 other things that need changed right along with it.
Dad, this fan doesn't fit this water pump. Brakes no longer fit once we put the motor in. We had to move the brake drum over a little bit, and thus everything that I had perfectly aligned before, I had to realign and had to fabricate a new piece to push into the drum. And this is the gorgeous results. That's just pretty.
So we wanted brakes on this one, Lee?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're necessary. This is a one-time mission.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna drive until we run into something and then we're dead.
Just downshift.
The clutch pedal wasn't lining up, since we moved the transmission to fit the motor, so I had to build a new one, which meant going down back to do some shopping. And maybe get out some aggression.
I don't like you!
The clutch pedal was too loose, so I had to make a new carrier.
And once everything was hooked up,
We're about to turn the motor over.
hey! Freddie, you wired it correctly. In order to get the motor in, we had taken off the hood, which we set to the side, which at some point decided it was too tired and wanted to lay down.
Jesus.
Mother.
Right into my dad's sparkly new paint job on his Chevy.
Right there.
So not only are we making things worse on the vehicle we're building, we're making it worse on every other vehicle in the shop. Our disease was spreading. So when it finally started, it was a lie. Carburetor wasn't working. End of day 7. We still don't have a working motor. The event starts in 10 days.
It's not a lot of time.
And it's 1,800 miles away.
It's been more than a week,
Day 8.
and we still don't have a
Day 8.
vehicle that we've driven yet, so today that has to happen. It has to. Job has probably aged me 20 years.
So Brett and I went out last night to spend some time with some friends in the area.
It was so nice seeing some old friends. I asked him if they could take me with them. They couldn't.
And as a result, I'm gonna let him sleep in this morning. I'm just gonna go start doing work myself. And he can join me later.
I wake up and it's quiet. Most mornings, Leif wakes me up and nobody's in the house. He's let me sleep in. It's my dream.
I just want to take it for a drive. And then we still got to figure out how to get it back to Los Angeles, which we do not have a plan right now for that. Oh, the sunshine is so hot. Ow!
When Dad got there, he jumped in and started fixing the carburetor. I jumped in on a few more electrical pieces.
I think I finally got the headlight switch to work. I think that's a win.
Which Brett finished up when he rolled in.
Morning, sunshine.
Did you finish it?
It's all done.
All done?
Yep. I don't know if we should be concerned about all those fluids underneath the car or not. Just hope it doesn't catch fire when we start it. Fingers crossed.
Come on, come on, come on. Yeah!
And who did that?
That was me. Kinda. Sometimes it was me, sometimes it was you, but I did a lot of it.
Finally, it was test drive time. Nope. The fan shroud was not cut back enough. The fan was hitting it, even though it was fine the day before when we turned the engine over. So test drive time, take 2.
We're moving.
I mean, sure, the thing had no brakes, could barely stay running, was missing every single piece of aesthetic appeal, but it was moving. And it was kind of fun. I have to admit, it was damn fun.
Leif was tearing around in that thing. I was like, all right, we got something here. We have a moving vehicle.
This is what I needed to keep me going. Once again, I was excited. Brett, not so much. He was fading, I could tell.
Right, you're not recording much video anymore. Why is that?
Because I'm sick of it.
Sick of what?
I have a mic on.
You don't have a mic on?
Nope. Because I'm sick of it. I'm not a piece of meat.
So I let him stay home after dinner that night.
Eat and realize that
Our life is worthless?
we don't know how we're getting the car back
Yep.
and when we're going back.
Yep. And I went back to do more work.
And Brett and my dad go home because they should not be drug into my insanity more than absolutely necessary. We have been here for over 12 hours today already, so.
And all of this was to play a game. And look, I love the game. Thunder Road is one of my favorite games, but is it worth all of this? No. 10 days until the event. We can get this done, right? Right?
Let's go.
That's right, kids. You can use pepper to fix a radiator.
Told you I don't want to be filmed. Brakes are very important. We didn't have them.
No, Brad.
Firewall looks like Swiss cheese.
God, could we get that drum in there to get power brake?
No, we can't.
Why?
There's no room.
It's not a lot to ask. I got brain.
We're all wasted.